know what Sony had? The Holy Trinity. Leo, Brad, and Margot. Who do you have?
Hello and welcome to Boy Party, the podcast about movies where two or more major stars share the screen and battle it out for screen time, top billing, the fatter paycheck, and the most acclaim, the highest ceiling even. My name is Lucian Wadley and I'm joined by... He's a difficult artist. He's known not to complete projects. Sometimes I don't even pay him for his work, but I have tasked him with my most ambitious ambition yet
My most ambitious ambition
yet to get this episode done in under 45 minutes. It's Shane Kelly.
Good evening.
We are doing, I guess, a kind of a slightly belated Easter episode this week.
Yeah, I guess you can call it that.
We're doing a kind of a Jesus-y movie.
This also falls under boy parties that depict two historical figures similar to The Journey.
And the two popes.
And
it's about exactly a year since the two popes episode, because the Pope died, if you'll recall, on Easter Monday last year.
Oh, very
and so it's been about exactly a year since we did a Pope episode. So I thought, let's do another Pope movie. I think this is a really fun Pope movie.
Much better than the two popes.
Much better. It puts the Pope in the role of like an artist's benefactor, like Guy Pearce,
the patron,
Brutalist.
the classic Renaissance patron.
And it gives us a somewhat historically accurate representation of a clash between financier, patron figure, and the humble artist. And in this case, one of the most iconic artists ever, Michelangelo. And I think a really interesting story, something I would have been interested to read about. Mm-hmm. And I think this film captures it in a really epic, kind of colorful and very entertaining way.
Yeah, it's kind of the director making a Marvel film of its time.
Absolutely.
You know, you paint Sistine Chapel, you get to design the tomb kind of job.
Kevin Feige and Chloe Zhao in 2020 coming together to make Eternals.
Yeah, sometimes you have to do the mainstream thing that tourists will go and see.
Yes. I think you're like, just on a basic level, Boy Party about two historical figures that had a real life conflict or clash of personalities is like instantly makes for an entertaining episode of the show.
It's even got its own Tony Blair, as The Journey does in...
oh my God. How so?
Raphael shows up. Just third historical figure who's there.
Third guy who sucks. Yeah.
Who's there for a couple of minutes.
Yeah, and the Pope is constantly like, if you don't get this done on time, I will replace you with Raphael. Saipan is a bit like this as well.
A little bit.
It's a bit of a Saipan dynamic.
Sure.
You can stick your Sistine Chapel up your arse. Michelangelo from Cork. It's The Agony and the Ecstasy.
Yeah.
It is a directed by Carl Reed film. That's not a sentence. And it is a starring Charlton Heston and Rex Harrison film.
I swear you just woke up from a nap.
I know,
You're a bit all over.
That makes one of us. Two guys we'll probably never get around to otherwise, but movie stars I have a lot of affection for. Mm-hmm. Two very normal guys who were super chill and nice, as we're about to learn. Charlton, in honor of our fallen hero Scott Mills, Shane is about to laugh with a mouthful of water. Are you aware of Scott Mills' trademark segment,
spit take or something?
Innuendo Bingo.
Oh no!
Where him and his guest would read out rude jokes to each other with a mouthful of water and see if they spit all over the other person.
And this took place on radio.
This was live on the radio, but they'd live stream it on bbc.co.uk/radio1 on the webcam.
I think you mentioned this to me before.
He did one with Katy Perry. And Katy Perry just has a mouthful of water and she's spitting on Scott Mills every couple of seconds.
Oh, buddy.
It's really gross.
That sounds like weird. No, never mind.
Yeah, no, it's gross.
I was going to say a weird fetish thing there, Scott, but then...
I think Scott's
he's beyond that.
Spit flew the other direction, to be honest. So, The Agony and the Ecstasy. Mm-hmm. Who's the Agony? Who's the Ecstasy?
The Pope is the Ecstasy.
I guess so, because he's
living in luxury,
the power of God.
Wearing sick fits. And,
newspapers have agony ants. They should have ecstasy ants as well, who tell you which drugs not to take. God. Anyway, tell us the setup of this film.
It's not much of a premise. The Pope was like, the fucking ceiling's been empty in here, lads. We need something nice. And he's like, Michelangelo, you'll do it. That's kind of it.
Does he has an existing relationship with Michelangelo? Because Michelangelo is like,
Michelangelo,
you've not paid me before on previous occasions.
Michelangelo is a sculptor.
Yes.
And seemingly...
He's kind of the wrong guy for the job.
He is the wrong guy for the job.
Yeah.
He's the wrong guy for the job on two fronts. because he's not a painter. Well, he's not a painter by trade.
No.
But he's also not a scaffolding maker.
Yeah.
And he has to bargain to make his own scaffolding because the architect they hired in to do the scaffolding was drilling holes in the ceiling to hang the scaffolding from it. And he's like, what the fuck are you doing? That's real stupid shit.
That's really stupid.
Yeah.
Scaffolding's, I feel like from an engineering perspective, scaffolding's pretty straightforward. You start low and you build up.
You get up there, yeah.
I mean...
But I guess Michelangelo's version of it, he had to move it every couple of days.
How do you... Yeah.
kind
Also,
of a
once you get
rotating
above
tower.
a certain level, how does scaffolding keep going on? I guess you just stand on the next level and you just stack
you
it up
build it up.
higher. Freaking
Scaffolding is scaffolding is a full-time job.
Yeah, true. There's a lot of scaffolding in this movie. There's a great scene where he's having like a freak out on the scaffolding.
Yeah, I think he's really tired from overworking, and because he's lying on his back painting the ceiling, paint keeps dripping into his eyes.
Yeah.
So he kind of goes temporarily blind, and he starts having
see.
weird visions, and he's like flopping around the place, and then he's like,
He eventually grabs onto a rope and flings himself off the
he
scaffolding.
does. See, he gets to a
Like
point where
Spider-Man.
he is completely stable and has found
Yeah.
his footing, and he's like, what do I do next?
Yes.
He's like, I'm going to grab that rope and pull it and see what happens. And he just he falls off and starts
It's brilliant.
falling slowly off the scaffolding.
It's brilliant.
It is. So, what else is going on here? One thing that kind of surprised me
Yeah.
in the opening of this film is that
Sorry, there's a 25-minute documentary.
Sorry, okay,
at the
yeah,
start of the
yeah,
film.
okay,
Take
okay.
away back. So
Take
the
away
film
back.
starts with archival footage of Michelangelo's real artworks, and a narrator being like, Michelangelo was a guy. Here's what happened in his life. He made all of this art, and basically giving you a background to his life and career through like documentary archival style. It is so engaging. It has this beautiful score running underneath it by Alex North and Jerry Goldsmith. Jerry Goldsmith, who did the score for... Can you name the film we did before in this podcast that Jerry Goldsmith did the music for?
did you say it to me the other day?
No. Because you'll never guess.
What are we talking? 60s or earlier or later?
2000s.
2000s.
Yeah.
A 2000s film.
Looney Tunes back in action.
Oh, Looney Tunes
the
back
same
in
guy
action.
did the score for that in Agony and the Ecstasy.
Oh,
and
that's
composed the
really
Star
nice.
Trek theme. Isn't that amazing?
No, the Agony and the Ecstasy is something you could make as a Looney Tunes film.
Yes, 100%.
Absolutely.
Sam the Eagle and Bugs Bunny, and
Yeah.
Bugs Bunny's like, don't worry, Doc, I'll paint your ceiling. And then he has lots of fun with scaffolding. But you have the great score running underneath it, and you have this like beautiful footage of the artwork. And like honestly, it's the most engaged I've been by like classical artwork in ages. I thought it was really fantastic.
Now, this might make me sound like an idiot, but
Yeah.
it did make me appreciate the old sculptures a little bit.
Absolutely.
Because what they did is they lit them in a way that kind of really got the expressions across.
Yes.
And
they zoomed
had
in on the faces and
had a
stuff.
story going in the background. You're
Yeah.
like, oh, fuck. Okay, that's what's going on here.
It looked great. I think if you're going to make a 2.5 hour historical drama like this, I think it's absolutely no harm to stick 20 minutes of kind of real life footage at the start to
Because
get,
you know
get
what?
people interested.
Prefacing a film with, here are some of the greatest pieces of art ever made.
Yeah.
We're just going to talk about them for a bit.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you can't really go wrong.
No, and then when it hits the actors 25 minutes and you're like, oh, now we're in
now
the
we're
meat of
rolling.
the story.
Yeah.
So I think it's great. But yes, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, I was a bit like, wait a minute, what period does this take in? Because
Yeah.
they had guns during the Renaissance.
Yes, they did.
Isn't it a bit mad?
What year is this actually set
This
in?
is about 1510, I believe.
Okay.
I don't quote me on that, but
can't find that.
Michelangelo seemed to have been born in 1470. So I assume
1508, yeah, you're right. 1508 to 1512 is when he painted.
fucking nailed that.
Well done, you nailed it. Yeah, there you go. It's based on a novel from 4 years previously of the same name by Irving Stone, which had been a huge bestseller. This was like the Da Vinci Code of its day.
I think this is pretty funny. It was by a guy called Irving Stone.
Yeah,
There's a
exactly.
Sculptor.
Sticks and Stones. Yeah, so this was obviously like a best-selling novel, and 4 years later, they're like, we got to make this into a film. And so they do. And they wanted Laurence Olivier for the role of the Pope. Burt Lancaster was linked to the film. There was a couple different directors coming and going. But yeah, Laurence Olivier unavailable. Fox wanted Rex Harrison to star. Charlton Heston wanted Fred Zinnemann to direct. Harrison agreed to make the film. Luchino Visconti was interested in making the film for a while. Carol Reed signed up. He'd worked with Rex Harrison before. Then they shot it on a soundstage in Cinecittà Studios in Rome because they couldn't get permission to use the actual Sistine Chapel.
Fair enough.
I can't remember if I've been inside the Sistine Chapel or not. I have been to the Vatican,
Yeah.
but I don't know. Some stuff was closed the day that we went. I feel like I did see Pope Benedict making a speech. It's crazy that we're
Up on his balcony.
yeah, we're 2 popes past him now, and I was only there 15 years ago.
He had a short term.
He did, yeah.
He resigned though. That was the funny thing.
Oh yeah. There was a long period where I couldn't remember if he was alive or dead.
He's dead now.
He's dead now. He died in like 2022.
Sure.
21 or 22. I remember where I was working when he died. But no, I was there in October 2011, and I can't remember if we went to the Sistine Chapel. I don't think so. I think if we had, I'd like very clearly remember it because it's so cool. But we studied it in school.
Then again, your reaction to the end of this film would suggest maybe you wouldn't.
Yeah, there's a bit at the end of the film where the camera pans up to show the ceiling, and I was like, what's this? Why are they showing us the ceiling? And then I remembered the entire film was about the painting of a ceiling.
Yeah.
This film should just be called like The Ceiling.
The
back rooms.
Jesus Christ.
So there's a bit of fun squabbling between the boys in this.
There is. This is the classic
personalities.
artist story of like he's been asked to paint something, he doesn't have any particular inspiration for it.
Yeah,
and he
It's
kind
a
of
job.
quits. He quits after a while because he's like, "Oh fuck this! I'm doing boring work here." He kind of runs away. He seems to go work in a marble quarry for a little bit, then comes back. When he has an idea, I think he like stands on a mountain and conceives the idea of the God making man in his own image and the whole touching Adam on the hand.
This is why we need basic artist income, is to give these
No,
guys...
I disagree. I think this is why we need a patronage system through the Catholic Church again.
Well, sure. Look, it's undeniable that having the church as the patron of art was the best possible way of kind of achieving the maximum ambition of maximalism in art and creating these incredibly rich, powerful...
No, there was a bit of a limit on the scope.
Of subject matter.
Yeah, of subject matter,
exactly.
sure.
Nobody was making art about, like, the suffering of women. It was all about Jesus and God and
Mary had a tough time with it.
But to be fair, there's a lot of cool stuff to work from within biblical text.
Oh, they had, like, the best empty ceilings.
Yeah. Well, the best buildings, but also the best stories to work from.
Yeah,
like there's incredible stuff. You can do the snake, you can do the apple, you can do the rising of the tides. Half the stuff that he's painting in this, Charlton Heston has also been in films about.
Yeah.
Charlton Heston is the king of the biblical movie, and he, as a result, ended up unsurprisingly being, highly fetishized by Christian America, of which he was a willing participant, I imagine. But like, it's funny that he's in this very like literal, real world movie about churchy stuff when so much of his career was in movies directly adapted from, biblical stories.
Did he play the big man himself?
So, who are you talking about Big G or Big J?
They're kind of one and the same.
I don't think he played either. I think he played every peripheral figure you can imagine without actually playing Jesus or God. His big two...
Were they allowed to put Jesus in films back then?
Jesus makes a few appearances in these movies. Ben-Hur, Jesus is in it.
Okay.
The official title of Ben-Hur is, in fact, Ben-Hur, A Tale of the Christ. Because Ben-Hur is a guy who ends up seeing Jesus on the cross and being and he cures his leprosy.
He's kind of a Forrest Gump character, like.
Yes. Okay. Halfway through Ben-Hur, or maybe 2/3 of the way through, he's got leprosy, or he's like living with the lepers or something. You never hear about lepers anymore.
You don't.
And he sees Jesus on the cross and it like saves him. There's another movie called Barbarous with Oliver Reed, which is about a guy who was on the cross beside Jesus when he was being crucified. So they started to make a lot of like Jesus adjacent movies.
They were digging into the lore, like.
Yeah, Charlton Heston was also in a movie called The Greatest Story Ever Told.
Yes, we watched the trailer for that.
John the Baptist. That comes out in 1965, same year as Agony and Ecstasy. So he does this in his run of religious movies.
Yeah.
So this obviously counts as a religious movie, but it is interesting that this one is based on like much more recent history than the movies about the actual Bible. There's another one called El Cid, which is great, which is about the legendary Spanish hero Rodrigo Diaz, who was like kicking the Moors out of Spain. It must be said, Charlton Heston, a remarkably race-blind cast actor who played seemingly every ethnicity imaginable. But like, so I rewatched The Ten Commandments, which I think is his greatest performance. And I love Ben-Hur. I think Ben-Hur is probably a better film. But Ten Commandments, Cecil B. DeMille's Ten Commandments is unbelievable. 4 hours long. Fucking rules. He plays Moses. And I'm like, Christian Bale played Moses in Exodus, Gods and Kings 12 years ago. Surely that was problematic by 2014. Like, were we really casting white guys as Moses? Moses was depicted in the animated film The Prince of Egypt 15 years before that. I think was depicted as being dark-skinned. Like, I don't think it was...
I think this is just one of these cases where you transpose a an American cast onto.
But it's so rough when they're not white people. Like, you can't be doing that. You can't. I know
They do it all the time.
They don't
Like
do it
the
all
fucking
the time.
the Odyssey is just a bunch of English feetings. Like,
But Greek is different to Palestinian. Like, okay, I'm not gonna get into that. I don't know.
no,
Maybe
I
a Greek
like
person might argue differently.
I don't know. They had fucking Paul Mescal playing Gladiator the other day. I don't know. Like,
Well, that's Italian. That's fine.
I guess is it?
He's in Rome. He's Italian. We always let white people play Italian.
Sure.
I don't know. I think Moses is like a different story.
In my experience
Jewish?
of Moses, I don't think he is a character defined by his race as much as his ethnicity.
What skin color did Moses have?
No, we're not getting to
I'm
this.
interested though. Like, was he sort of okay? Moses was brown.
Sure.
He was of Middle Eastern descent.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay, it seems like it's maybe there's a little bit of wiggle room there. Anyway, The Ten Commandments is class. I'd highly recommend you watch it. Yul Brynner, Edward G. Robinson, Vincent Price, the boys are all in it. Ben-Hur, of course, has the famous chariot race and loads of boat stuff. It's class. Charlton Heston, definitely more interesting when he's in those kinds of big epic movies. I mean, he is very good in Orson Welles' movie Touch of Evil, but Orson Welles himself is the villain in that, and he is the movie's selling point. I don't think Charlton Heston is quite as compelling when he's like a noir lead. I think he needs to be in like a crazy spectacle. And then he kind of pivots from the like religious stuff to being like the king of the disaster movie and the kind of like Arnold Schwarzenegger of his day.
Right.
So he does these like sci-fi. So he becomes like a sci-fi guy because Planet of the Apes happens.
Yeah.
Of course, he has his iconic "Get your hands off me, you damn dirty ape," and then screaming at the end when he sees the Statue of Liberty. And then he goes from that, he does Omega Man, which is later remade with Will Smith as I Am Legend, and he does Soylent Green, which, folks, spoiler alert, is people. Soylent Green is people. And then he does all these disaster movies. So he does Airport, Midway, Earthquake, and a kind of weird, like, terrorism movie of its time, 2-Minute Warning.
Okay.
Which we watched 2 weeks ago.
We did.
Which is
really disappointing.
Yeah, it's a sniper in a football stadium.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's going to be class.
It does.
It has a lot in common with Black Sunday, the Zeppelin crash movie, but also, I don't know, House of Dynamite.
Trap.
Trap. Yeah.
It's kind of, it's one of these single concept films, and I think everything that was done on a technical level is pretty good.
Yeah.
I think the kind of integration of the crowd and the realism of the match going on and all that sort of stuff, I think it looks great.
Yeah.
But it's just a very poorly constructed narratively that there's no real tension.
Not exciting at all. Imagine what Sidney Lumet would have done with that film. Like,
it's also like 30 minutes of an introduction where they're kind of showing the gunman
going about his business
without ever showing his face, and you think there's going to be some payoff to that. But it's essentially just a nobody guy. So once they do kind of
you
show
think
his
it's going
face
to be
for
John
distance-
Cassavetes because he's second billed, but then it turns out he's just playing a cop.
Yeah,
Very disappointing.
it is very disappointing.
Yeah, but it has an insane. Folks, look up the Japanese poster. It's one of the coolest things ever. It's this giant gun in the sky and the stadium and all the class. And then 90s heads will want me to reference Charlton Heston's kind of resurgence in the 90s, where basically I think people start to recognize, there'd be no Arnold Schwarzenegger without there'd be no Sylvester Stallone without Charlton Heston.
Yeah.
He is kind of the prototype for a certain type of like macho star. And they start to put him in things. So he's in Tombstone. He's in James Cameron's True Lies, in The Mountain of Madness. He's in Kenneth Branagh's Hamlet. He has a voice role. In Disney's Hercules, he narrates. He's in Armageddon as the narrator. He's got a great voice, and people start to incorporate him into their movies as kind of this like incredible old man voice of authority. Now, do you know what Charlton Heston is mostly known for later in his life?
I don't. You teased this to me earlier as a bit of a off-screen experience.
From 1998 until 2003, Charlton Heston was the president of the NRA. And the National Rifle Association.
Okay.
And he is...
Not the National Roads Authority.
No, not
what they call it here?
No.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Never mind.
He is, I would say, without exaggerating, the most famous gun rights advocate in American history.
Yeah.
And Michael Moore's 2002 film Bowling for Columbine is largely a takedown of Charlton Heston specifically.
Great.
He has the incredibly famous quote that he would not allow Al Gore to take his Second Amendment rights away except from my cold, dead hands. And he delivered his NRA speeches in the same voice that he reads the fucking Ten Commandments. And you know what? It's pretty compelling stuff. And like,
is that the first recorded use of cold, dead hands?
Maybe he might have invented
that phrase.
And folks, putting it on the record here, I am famously a hater of guns and of the NRA, an organization that should be immediately thrown into the fucking ocean. I do find Charlton Heston making crazy political speeches insanely compelling.
He's kind of the guy.
Kind of the guy. I mean, imagine now if you had, and now obviously Arnold Schwarzenegger had a political career.
Yeah.
But Arnold Schwarzenegger is not charismatic the way that Charlton Heston is. Like, imagine if you had
Tom Cruise up there advocating
Tom Cruise up there as the president of the NRA. Oh my God, we'd have a fucking safe installed in this house with 20 guns in it. Like, it's so compelling. But anyway, no, terrible guy. And Michael Moore went and interviewed him at his house and basically interrogates him about Columbine and about how guns were leading to these mass shootings. And Charlton Heston said that we probably have more gun-related homicide because we have more mixed ethnicity. We have a history of violence, perhaps more than most countries. And then he walked off. And then he announced he had Alzheimer's. So some people came back and criticized Michael Moore because they had put a guy with Alzheimer's on the spot and all of this. He also was a supporter of the Iraq War, and he was very anti-abortion. Just generally like a shitty conservative guy. And
he's taking all the boxes, all the usuals.
And he was a star of Christian movies. It's not really surprising.
Yeah.
He died in 2008 at the age of 84.
This film is kind of anti-Christian a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
It's interesting. The Pope has a sword and rides a horse and goes into battle in this.
Sorry, the Pope is like remarkably arrogant and superficial and materialistic in this. And I think the Pope is a great performance in this.
No, it's fantastic.
I think it's a fantastic comedy performance for someone for someone you mentioned. I think hated the entire time shooting it.
Exactly. We'll get to that in a second.
Yeah, we will.
Charlton Heston, winner of Best Actor for Ben-Hur. He would never win an Oscar today. Like, as in, if he was an actor, like, and I really like him as an actor. If he was an actor today, he would have never won an Oscar.
Based on politics or based on
being taken seriously. This type of acting doesn't win Oscars since the 60s. Like, I don't know. Guys who talk like this. I don't know. Maybe they do. So, Ben-Hur won 11 Oscars.
Nominated for 15?
Nominated for 14.
It had the record
13.
for a long time.
Picture, director, actor, supporting actor, art direction, cinematography, costume design, film editing, sound recording, music, special effects.
Just swept.
Agony The Ecstasy, I don't think, had any Oscar success, which is kind of nuts. 5 Oscar nominations: art direction, cinematography, costume score, and sound.
Yeah.
God, it was the Frankenstein of its day. Not even. Frankenstein got a Best Picture nomination.
Yeah.
I don't even know what it was. It was fucking Avatar: Fire and Ash.
I guess so.
That's a bit unfair now. Why would they not nominate the boys? Rex Harrison got a Best Actor nomination at the Golden Globes.
Because it was anti-church.
Do you think it's anti-church?
There's a lot of Charlton Heston like shouting at the Cardinals, being like, "No, I'm you're all prudes. I'm painting the naked man in the way God intended," and like you're all a bunch of babies.
I guess you're right. I guess you're right. Let's see what the Best Picture nominees were this year. Okay, 1,000 Clowns, which is a fantastic movie with Jason Robards. I didn't know that was nominated for Best Picture. Ship of Fools, a Stanley Kramer movie with Vivian Leigh. Okay, never seen it.
Names were better back then.
Dr. Zhivago. Amazing name. With Omar Sharif. Darling, never heard of it. Julie Christie as a model in Swinging London. Sounds good.
Oh, yeah.
And the winner, I would say probably the best Picture winner of all time. The Sound of Music. So, can't really argue with that.
Yeah.
The story with the making of this is that Charlton Heston puts into his autobiography that he was, I think, relatively happy, but he says, I feel I'm learning a great deal from Carol Reed, but Rex Harrison will not be an easy man to work with. Perhaps he's insecure over who has the best part. Charlton first billed on this. The poster says, Charlton Heston as Michelangelo.
Yep.
Rex Harrison as the Warrior Pope. That's fucking class.
Cool, yeah.
Sorry, I would take second billing if they put as the
Warrior
Warrior Pope
Pope
under my name.
He was a warrior
Every
pope.
fucking movie should do that. The poster for Mercy should say Chris Pratt as the Warrior Pope. Use your imagination. I don't know.
The warrior cop, I suppose.
Yes.
I don't know.
Rex Harrison wrote in his memoirs, Rex Harrison, must be said, really, really hated Irish people. Just Winston Churchill level prejudice there. Thought we were disgusting and smelly.
We really got the worst of both sides of the ocean.
Just awful. He was an awful bollocks. An awful, awful man.
Yeah.
A friend of ours knows his great-granddaughter.
Oh, yes.
He was horrible. He said, I don't think Carol Reed was himself. I think Charlton Heston was absolutely himself. And by the end, I didn't know who I was. Heston very politely and very nicely made me feel like it was extremely kind of me to be supporting him. Carol did little to disabuse him of this notion, so I did everything I could to make myself believe that the picture was about Pope Julius rather than about Michelangelo.
Kind of is.
Harrison admitted he wore lifts in his shoes to make himself seem taller, and then Heston started wearing lifts in his shoes. In a later volume of memoirs, Harrison called the movie an altogether horrendous experience, writing that the character he played had potential. He was a most unpope-like pope, a Renaissance bull of a man, fighting duels, siring illegitimate children, but I felt like saying I was a pretty good naturalistic stage actor rather than a ham film star and shouldn't have undertaken so ridiculous a project in this film. I nearly went mad from boredom and frustration. Sorry, buddy, you are lying saying you're not a ham film star. His ham was half of his appeal, is that Rex Harrison rocks up with a big fucking thing of ham under his arm.
Yeah.
And is like, I'm going to put a layer of ham on this. He's great. He's great at that.
That's what stage is, I guess. Stage is ham.
He seems like a guy who really just couldn't get over the fact that he was in the film less than the other actor. Like, I think he had a perfectly fine time filming it, and he's just complaining because he's a supporting character. Like, he is in the movie less. And he obviously was like, offered the role of the Pope, was like, well, the Pope is naturally going to be the lead of the film, and then realized that Michelangelo was way more interesting and that they put a bigger star on them.
I think he's a better performance than this.
Rex Harrison? Yeah. Oh, he is a better performance. He's a better actor.
Yeah.
I would say it's not dissimilar to the Brody Pierce.
I know. I was going to bring up the Brutalist later.
I don't think Charlton Heston is quite as good as Adrian Brody, but I do think that like the kind of the benefactor guy gets to have more fun because he's the villain. He's dangling money in the artist's face.
Yeah.
And he's given out about the director as well.
Yeah.
So there you go. The guys
we don't really get this level of feud anymore.
No,
I don't know.
Nobody
like,
talks
the
shit
Rock
about each
and
other.
Vin Diesel is kind of the
Rock and Vin Diesel is the closest
but that's
you get
under
now.
so many layers of NDAs
I
and
know.
contractual obligations.
People used to write memoirs. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Nobody writes fucking memoirs anymore. Vin Diesel's not sitting down, I don't like The Rock.
I mean, he should.
He's doing it on Instagram. It's like, it's petty. It's shite. People need to do it in books.
Rex Harrison covering Rihanna on Instagram.
Oh my God, imagine. Rex Harrison's like over indexes in my household because he's in the Dr. Dolittle musical, which I watched 100 times as a child. A really, I think, an over what's the word I'm looking for here? An unfairly maligned film. People hate the original Dr. Dolittle, and it did bankrupt a studio, and I appreciate that it was a massive flop. But it's really charming. It has these great songs by Anthony Newley. Anthony Newley is the co-lead of the movie. It's him and Rex Harrison. They're great pals. And with Samantha Eggar, recently departed, R.I.P., they go on a journey from Puddleby on the Marsh to seek out the giant sea snail. Is that what he's called? I think he's called the giant sea snail. They it gets a little funny in the old race department. They do end up on a sort of an African island with a lot of entertaining characters that you could possibly consider to be the great pink sea snail to be insensitive depictions of ethnic people. But I find that movie to be such fun, and it's full of like fun animal antics, and Rex Harrison is just great in it, and he's talking to his parrot and he's singing loads of big songs, and the role was, of course, later replaced by the Rex Harrison of his day, Eddie Murphy. And then the Eddie Murphy of his day Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
in a series of casting choices, each more perplexing than the last. But there's a great book that I have over there, Scenes from a Revolution by Tony Kushner's partner, her husband, Mark Harris. And it's about the 5 movies nominated for Best Picture the year that Dr. Dolittle came out. And it's like Bonnie and Clyde, The Graduate, In the Heat of the Night, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner.
Yeah.
We talked about this on that episode.
Yeah.
And then Dr. Dolittle, and all the Dr. Dolittle stuff in it is just Rex Harrison talking about how much he hates Irish people. But anyway, he's in like a couple of real bangers apart from that. He's got a great early role in a Preston Sturges movie that I love called Unfaithfully Yours. And he's so funny. He's such a funny guy. And he's got this pompous, hammy British stage manner that I think lends itself to really funny bickering and bantering.
Like back then, did they make children's movies or were they just family movies?
There was animation, I guess.
Beyond animation, I guess.
Children.
Like, I feel like Dr. Dolittle now, the Robert Downey Jr. one, is almost kind of specifically marketed at children.
Yes, I agree.
Whereas back then, I guess they were not as much.
No, I don't think so. I think there was less stuff being made in general.
Yeah.
But like musicals were the superhero movies of the 60s.
Sure.
You don't need kids' movies when you have The Sound of Music because it's so good. Everyone's going to want to see it and everyone's going to love it. I mean, unironically, Project Hail Mary is doing that right now.
Yeah.
Parents and children and adults on their own are all enjoying that film.
Yeah.
And it's making loads of money. And it's like, oh yeah, forgot that was a thing that we used to do. People would just like, there'd be movies that everyone would like, you know, that kids would like and adults would like.
Is Project Hail Mary PG?
I think it's 12A.
12A.
Because it's kind of about the end of the world and a
It
guy
is
dying
a little bit,
alone
yeah.
in space. It's pretty dark. But Project Hail Mary is like the first movie in ages that I feel like is like kind of ticking every box for family film. And adults are going to see it on their own as well. Yeah. I'd say like Barbie was kind of like that, but in a weird kind of ironic way.
Yeah. Barbie did have layers of kind of an irony over it, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to skim a lot of good stuff that Rex Harrison was in because I there's a lot of his early stuff I haven't seen, but he's in like Blithe Spirit, which is still like running as a stage show. Carol Reed's Night Train to Munich. Oh, I must say, Carol Reed, who directs this, is the man behind my beloved Odd Man Out, which we talked about when we did our James Mason discussion, which is this incredible Northern Irish IRA movie. You should all watch. It's so good. James Mason basically like dying in a fucking halfway house after a botched robbery by a bunch of IRA guys in the north. It's incredible. And of course he directs the incredibly iconic The Third Man, and I think that's kind of the capstone of his legacy. But he's a very respected director. And in terms of musicals, he directs Oliver, which is the Oliver Twist musical that everyone loves, that features such beloved songs as I'd Do Anything and Consider Yourself. Everyone knows this. Why am I saying it? But Rex works with him on Night Train to Munich. One of my father's favorite films of all time is The Ghost and Mrs. Muir, which is Rex Harrison and Gene Tierney. And it is directed by Joseph N. L. Mankiewicz, who, of course, made All About Eve and Cleopatra, which also stars Rex Harrison. And this movie is about a widow in 1900 who moves into a seaside cottage and finds out that there is the ghost of an old sea captain living there, played by Rex Harrison. And he has an incredibly sick look in this. He's got like a turtleneck, a big sea captain's coat, and a big mustache and a goatee. And actually, he looks so fucking attractive in The Ghost of Mrs. Muir. That's a great film. I would highly recommend. And then you've got bits and pieces here and there. He's in a Vincent Minnelli movie that I watched earlier today called The Reluctant Debutante, which is basically like he brings his daughter to a ball and she meets a man. It's not Vincent Minnelli's best work, but it's charming. And then he plays Doris Day's husband in like a weird kind of early erotic thriller, a 1960 kind of knockoff Hitchcock movie called Midnight Lace.
Oof.
Where he basically just plays kind of the dumb husband, and Doris Day is getting all these scary phone calls from a stranger, and he's just in the house like, darling, don't worry about it. It'll be fine. As I mentioned, Cleopatra, followed up by My Fair Lady, where he co-stars with Audrey Hepburn as Professor Henry Higgins, a film I think we've expressed previously on our Audrey Hepburn episodes that nobody in our circle really likes that much. Kind of an annoying movie based, of course, on George Bernard Shaw's Pygmalion. And this comes very soon after that. And then you've got The Honey Pot. The Honey Pot, again, as I mentioned, Rex Harrison over indexes in my family home because my parents once opened one of their documentaries with a voiceover snippet of Rex Harrison in the honeypot.
Huh.
Over footage of Venice that they had shot themselves.
Yeah.
Because the honeypot is set in Venice, and it's like Rex Harrison invites all of his ex-wives to his house and like to divide up his fortune or whatever. And there's a bit where he's like messing around with a little hourglass and he's talking about the nature of time and whatever. And this kind of tied in with the theme of their film. So they have a little snippet of Rex Harrison playing at the start of their film. I must have seen that 30 seconds like a million times when they were grading it and mixing it and everything. So the honeypot, Rex Harrison, like just exists in my subconscious in a very intense way. And then I've not seen any of his films after Dr. Dolittle. It's honestly not much. There's not much to speak of after that. But in 1969, he's in a weirdly ahead of its time gay movie with Richard Burton, his fellow thespian, called Staircase, which is directed by the great Stanley Donen of Singing in the Rain fame. I've been meaning to watch this. I can't find it, though. It's like not on my usual websites. An aging gay couple owns a barbershop in the East End of London. One of them is an actor about to go on trial for propositioning a police officer. That sounds fantastic.
Sounds good fun,
In 1969, these, horrible Rex Harrison who hated the Irish was playing a gay guy in a film. That's interesting.
Yeah.
These London actors were all gay, though. Like,
sure.
Come on now. Like, Rex Harrison, I'm sure, was more open to gayness than he was to Irishness.
The Irish, yeah.
And yeah, that's it. That's the Rex Harrison filmography. A guy I like a lot as a star. If I ever was in a room with him, well, he probably would have spat in my face because I'm Irish.
He probably would have, yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Anything else to say about The Agony and the Ecstasy?
Yeah, I feel like I had a couple of other just like funny tidbits to.
Yeah, there's fun Italian guys in it, popping in and out of rooms.
I think the first scene with the characters happened, and then we were like, we made some we started talking about marble.
Oh, yeah.
And then it immediately cut to a scene of the marble quarry, and the two of us just roared.
Yeah, because it looked like the brutal.
Marble quarries are so sick.
They're so cool. I love rock.
They're so good.
Rock and sculpting is so cool.
Used incredibly well in the Brutalists as well.
Yeah, I don't understand it, but I think it's class.
Yeah, I think like
there's like
this is structured. I don't want to say in a very modern way. Like this is obviously where this kind of thing came from. But this hits the humor and the beats of. I'd imagine if you made something similar to this today.
Yes.
Where you'd have whatever semi-serious funny guy. Like in The Brutalist is the same similar humor as in The Brutalist is in this.
I agree. I think it's a very contemporary film with modern appeal.
Yeah.
It's just like a little bit too specific maybe in its subject matter to be retained as a classic. I think this probably does big numbers in like TCM world, but I don't know if the average person's ever going to like stick this on streaming. It's a little bit too niche.
It's a good one to like probably flick on because you can pick up what's going on.
You have to be interested in art and the church to want to watch this.
Yeah. One other little scene I liked is when they realize that the wine has gone sour in the bar he's in, and the barman is like, "Oh fuck, this is a new one," and he goes over and he just smashes the barrel and it starts pouring everyone, all the like crusty drunks go over and just like get drenched in the wine. It's brilliant. It's like, that's funny.
It's great.
What else?
I think that's it. Are there any women in this film? There's a woman on the poster.
There is a woman in
Diane.
the film.
She's third billed. Diane Salento. Who does she
kind
play?
of a non-character. She's a
Contessina.
You can't say that about a woman.
Contessina Antonia Romallo de Medici. Oh, she's a Medici.
Sorry, she's Medici's
there you
daughter.
go.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry, this is a fucking funny film for the name drops.
I
like
know,
this
right?
is talking about Medici and
Raphael
is here.
Yeah. You get 2 of the 4 Ninja Turtles. Where are the other boys?
I don't know.
This is like half a Ninja Turtle movie.
They talk about Da Vinci.
They should. Da Vinci's not a Ninja Turtle, buddy.
Leonardo.
Oh fuck, you're right. Leonardo is a Ninja Turtle.
Yeah.
Rex Harrison had knighthood.
Who cares?
He died 7 years before I was born.
He was born in 1908.
That's a close call.
Yeah.
He could
have seen you.
He could have seen me and died of horror.
What are the Irish producing these days?
Sorry, it is kind of funny. You hover over the Tony Award for Best Actor in a Play, an award that he won, and the picture is of the most recent winner, who is Cole Escola, who is a non-binary actor who is in like dressed up as like in like female outfit and makeup and stuff when they won the award. it's interesting contrast with Rex Harrison. I don't know.
Yeah, it's
To have like a
it's
non-binary,
it's a nice move away
yeah,
from the Rex
and a
Harrisons of the
feminine
world.
non-binary person comes up as the picture of the award. Anyway,
Sorry, what is the structure of the Tonys? Like, how
they do like best actor in a new play, best actor in a returning play.
is that it?
Sorry, as in like you can only win in the first year of a show being on Broadway, but if they bring back an old show, you can win for that. But that's separate to a new play.
Yeah,
believe-
I actually never knew the structure or the
I believe
kind of
that's
format
how
of
it
the Tonys
works.
were.
Yeah.
So how many acting Tonys are given out every year? 4? Is actor and actress
No,
split,
I'd
or is
say
it just one?
8. I'd say they do best.
4 and 4.
They do lead in a new play.
Yeah.
Supporting in a new play. I could be wrong. Lead in a returning play. Supporting in a returning
I
play.
gotcha.
Maybe they don't do returning play every year. Maybe they only do it if there's a finite number of Broadway shows.
Yeah.
There's not like thousands of films thousands like there are films every year. So I don't know. Did Rex Harrison win an Oscar?
Sorry, do Tonys only go to
did.
Broadway, or does West End stuff?
West End stuff goes to Olivier's.
Oh, Tonys is purely Broadway.
Yeah.
Oh, no way.
I believe so.
Huh.
It's certainly
It's not an international.
doesn't cover
no.
stuff in London. No.
Fair enough.
Rex Harrison won Best Actor at the Oscars in 1964 for My Fair Lady, the year before this movie came out.
Yeah.
And he was nominated for Cleopatra the year before that, with Richard Burton's also in that. There you go. These guys both have an Oscar. Cool.
Oh, yeah.
All right, box office for the year 1965.
1965.
We've done this year before. I think we have, because The Sound of Music is obviously going to be number one, and I'm trying to figure out what movie we would have done before.
I will figure it out as soon as we.
Would it have been What's New Pussycat?
Oh, buddy.
Whoa. Sure, pull up your box office there. Unfortunately, I couldn't find any famous or interesting people who'd ever named this film in the Letterboxd Top 4. Shocker. 1965.
Have we had any good artist films recently?
Mr. Turner's the last really great one. Mr. Turner, Timothy Spall as J.M.W. Turner. That is actually a pretty good impression of how he talks in that film.
Yeah.
Mr. Turner fucking rules. Have there been other great artist films? I don't know. Big Eyes. The
Ed Harris, Sidney Pollack thing.
Well, that was years ago. Kelly Reichardt's showing up with Michelle Williams.
Is that about a real person?
No.
It's just about an artist.
There was a thing about Bob Ross with Owen Wilson called Paint.
Yeah, there
Literally
was.
not a single soul watched that film.
No.
We've actually never done a film. Oh, sorry. What's New Pussycat was the same year. So this box office is going to be identical.
That
was like 4 months ago.
I'll probably give you the exact same clues. Number 1.
Sound of Music.
Correct. Number 2.
I don't know.
Galway's favorite shop.
Dr. Zhivago.
Yeah.
This is boring.
Number 3. The Bond, I think. Is it Bond?
Oh, fuck. Is it Goldfinger?
Thunderball.
Thunderball. He strikes like Thunderball.
Okay. I remember the clue I gave you this one.
Oh, yeah?
It's
boring.
It's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 7-word title.
It's a mad world.
Incorrect. You might have guessed that last time as well.
What kind of 7-word title?
Something and there's something.
The Agony and the Ecstasy.
No. Magnificent Men and Their Flying Machines.
I've seen that. Yeah.
Yep. The next one sounds like it could be the previous one also.
The Great Race or something?
Yeah.
The Jack Lemmon and Tony Curtis movie.
Well done. Then we get this is a very fun lineup of we get 3 films with cat in the name.
That Darn Cat.
Yep.
Genuinely is on the list to do on this podcast.
Okay.
Not kidding. Haley Mills and Dean Jones.
Sure.
What's New Pussycat?
Yep. That's 8.
The
So that's 6
Owl
and
and the
8.
Pussycat?
Nope.
The
We had the same discussion before.
other one with cat in the name.
Yeah.
I don't actually remember this discussion. Cat on a Haunted Roof.
No.
Fuck.
Cat Ballou.
Cat Ballou with Jane Fonda. Yeah. Never seen
We
that.
got Shenandoah and Von Ryan's Express to round out the top 10.
There you go. That's it.
I hope you enjoyed listening to that for the second time.
Yeah, I hope you had a good Easter, everybody.
Yeah,
I'd say
happy
the
Easter.
overlap of people who listen to the What's New Pussycat in this episode is
Pope
0.
Pope likely hasn't died before this.
Yeah, I
has
hope
come
he
out.
hasn't died. Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah.
We hope that you enjoyed listening to our discussion of this film that you definitely haven't seen.
You're getting a weird amount of video content this week, as you point out.
Yeah, exactly.
Potentially.
I know I'm branching out.
When you talk about March Madness?
No.
No.
We'll do the March Madness winner in a week or 2.
Yeah.
Probably 2.
Fair enough.
You'll know by now what it is. It's either going to be Baby Jane or The Master. Probably Baby Jane. All right. Thank you for tuning in. BoyPartyPod.com, BoyPartyPod on Instagram. Happy Easter to you. Go paint a ceiling. Paint the ceiling of your house. Who cares what your landlord says? Landlords don't look up.
No, they don't.
They come for an inspection. They won't notice.
No, they root around the skirting boards. They look in the oven. They don't.
We should put the Richard Jewell poster on our ceiling and see if anyone notices.
All right. Post on the ceiling.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.